Your holy sound.
Your holy sound.
Come help me sing.
Come help me sing.
Your holy sound.
Your holy sound.
Well, good morning. Has it only been a week since we were here together last time?
I think so.
It feels like a lot of time has gone by since we were last together.
Gee, I wonder why, Cindy.
We'll get into that in a minute, Doug.
Somewhere in the know.
I would like to introduce you to the people who are most visibly serving you today. You were greeted by our ushers, Therese and Mary. Our social hour is being hosted by Chris and Nancy. Josh and Walter are providing audio-video support. You have already met our lovely complement of musicians, Richard, Sally, and Doug. My name is Cindy, and Doug will be our speaker this morning. So welcome back to all of you, and welcome back to all of you. I do have a few announcements to make, and I'd like to start first by thanking some people in this room and some of the people who are not in this room for pulling off the most amazing miracle this last week when we had our electrical panel project going on and hit a few snags. Has anyone ever done a construction project that did not have a snag? I'm just wondering, show of hands. No one. We had it perfectly timed. Wednesday, the power would go off, the panels would be replaced, and the power would come back on Thursday, but then the electricians did a little rinky-dinky thing out in the alley where the power comes into the building, and the PUD said, oh, no, 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 no. Now you have to fix all of that, too. So the project expanded exponentially and the time expanded exponentially, and they told me on Wednesday that they would not be able to inspect the building and turn the power back on until tomorrow, Monday. And I said, whoa, that doesn't really work for me. So called the city, talked to the inspector, called the PUD, talked to them, and through a magic I don't even know what. They actually got the power back on Friday. Yay. Friday. It was a miracle. So I want to give a shout out to Ingrid, the woman who was doing the sacred land healing, who at the very last minute, I worked with her and helped her find another place to put it because I thought there would be no power here on Saturday. And Dennis, what was that, Pam? Oh, I'm sure they did. That door should have stayed locked, Pam. So we put a sign up on the door. We put the word out as best we could. Bless Dennis's heart. He was here for a couple of hours on Wednesday before the power went out, trying to get everything ready for Saturday. So he invested a lot of time for apparently no reason. And then, of course, our board of directors, who was just cheering us along the whole time, you know, okay, we can have service with no power and lights, or we can cancel service. We can do whatever we need to do. Shout out to Dawn, our custodian extraordinaire, who was here on Friday, let him get in the building, flipped the breakers, did all that, got everything back up and running. Thank you to Walter, who was a sport about canceling Friday night drum circle, which after the fact we found out did not have to be done, but we didn't know that Friday morning, so holy smokes. And of course to our intrepid Sunday morning speakers and musicians who were like, we can stay home or we can come and do the service in the dark. So I know. And so then we were laughing about it. We were like, we actually kind of got excited about the adventure of Sunday service with no heat and power. It's sort of like the Aqua Sox game when we all got rained out, you know, the Thanksgiving with no power. So when the power turned back on Friday, I told Doug, I was kind of disappointed. What? So anyway, thanks to all of you, and thank you for being so gracious about the last minute changes. I'd like to remind you that we have our first Wild and Wise women's group meeting this Tuesday night from 6 to 8. You're welcome to join us. That'll be a monthly event on the fourth Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m. We are asking for a suggested donation of $10, but whatever, donation more or less, doesn't matter. You're welcome to come. A reminder that our regularly scheduled fourth Friday of the month yoga class is canceled this month. We'll be back again. The next session will be March 14th. Our Connected Sanctuary for the Heart group will be meeting this Friday from 1 to 2:30. And that's the end of the normal announcements. Now, the real entertainment begins. I'm going to ask Rick to come forward. He has a special announcement to make. Everybody loves when Rick makes announcements.
No pressure.
You've got it.
I asked to come up. We've been doing Fun Night for several years now, but I haven't been up here to talk about it for quite a while. And so I thought I'd, remind everybody, and for those of you who haven't been here that long, what Fun Night's all about. It's the first Friday of every month at 6:30 to 8:30 downstairs. Its full name is First Friday Family Fun Night, if that helps or not. It's First Friday because it's the first Friday of the month. It's family because it's for everybody, okay? We're not limiting to certain ages. This is not a children's event. This is not an adults-only event. It's family. You come and enjoy yourself. And the fourth F is fun. That's kind of self-explanatory, I hope. So, think of it as Fun Night with 4 Fs. 3 of the Fs are silent. Whichever 3 you want, actually. So let me explain what Fun Night is all about. It's got several elements. Unlike some other events where there's an agenda where you're going to do this, then you're going to do this, then you're going to do this, it's open-ended. We have all kinds of stuff. You come and you just join in wherever you want to. So let me take a minute and explain what some of the things you can join in on. First of all, we've always got some games going, okay? Now, games mean different things to different people. Might be board games, might be card games. Walter's always ready to get you going in a game of dominoes back there. And so, if one of those appeals to you, come on and join in with whatever. We've got a wide variety of games available to play. Now, I realize some of you aren't the competitive type, and maybe games aren't your thing. And that's only one of the things, are the games. We also, quite often, we get a group of people who like maybe just working on a jigsaw puzzle a little bit, chatting around. Got quite a variety of jigsaw puzzles back there. Just pick a puzzle. We can just chat around there. We do encourage you to at least fit one piece in if you're going to be working the jigsaw puzzle, but even that's not mandatory. Now, third thing we got on Fun Night, and this is one of my favorite parts, is... Yeah. One of my favorite parts is the munchie table. Yeah, that would have been a good guess, but at any rate, the munchie table. Now, in addition to bringing yourself, we encourage you to bring a munchie. You got something you like to nosh on when you're relaxing at night? Well, bring it with you and add it to the communal munchie table. Now, nutritional value, strictly optional here. So in addition, yeah, so you're getting an idea now. Now, the final element we've got is we always have some music going, okay? Sometimes it's recorded music just to kind of create the ambiance, but some nights, and it includes this March, we have live music. So we've got, actually Josh is coming with his guitar on March 7th, okay? So we've got some, and we've got some singers here. Josh loves it if you want to get up and sing along with him. It's a blast. Or you can come and listen while you play a game or puzzle, or just come and sit and relax and enjoy the music. So you're kind of getting an idea. This is what Fun Night's all about. Very open-ended. You come, you relax, you enjoy yourself. It's very easy to do. Now, the catch with announcements always has been, you can say it's fun, but, we're standing all here, you're all sitting in the pews and everything, is it really fun? It's hard to get that across. Well, a few years ago, when we started this whole thing, to try to get that across, I came up with the Fun Night Family Theme Song. You remember that? Some of you may remember it. You can almost hear it now, can't you? Yeah. So I think we'll just we'll do that for you. You guys ready? There once was a man who was feeling kinda down. Came home from work, he was wearing quite a frown. Just when it seemed there was no end to his plight, he picked up the bulletin, there was fun night. Yeah, fun! With 4 F's on Friday. Well, let me tell the story of what we're gonna do. We got Josh on guitar, playing just for you. Lots of good music to put you in the mood. Add to that some tables all covered with food. Yeah, nachos, pizza rolls, donuts, I hear. A delicious cake in a color you've never seen before. And a bowl of something you don't know what it is, but tastes real good. You getting the idea now? There's lots of puzzles and games to play. A perfect way to finish off your day. So much fun, it's just gotta be a sin. So hop in your motor car, come with all your kin. Family, that is. Bring your friends. Why, come set a spell. Take your shoes off. Bring us home, band. Y'all come now, you hear?
Nice job.
That doesn't work, nothing.
Nothing will, exactly. Sally said, if that doesn't work, nothing will. I was downstairs in my office and I heard the theme song to the Beverly Hillbillies and I thought, oh, Doug and Sally are bringing their A game today, man. They're bringing their A game because I had forgotten that is the universal theme song for Friday night fun night. So thank you for reminding me. It is really a lot of fun and you have inspired me to come back because I love hanging out with you guys on Friday night. It's pretty fun. So, and you can also see why I let Rick go for the last announcement because it would be horrible to stand up here and give all my announcements after Rick's. I need to hire Doug and Sally to jazz up my announcements. All right, so let's settle in now. We'll have a song and then we'll have our meditation.
Again, just repeat after me. Some of you know this. I am God's melody of life. Sing God's melody
of life
that sings a song through me. That sings a song through me. I am God's rhythm and harmony. I am God's rhythm and harmony that sings a song through me. That sings a song through me. A song of life, of radiant life. A song of life, of radiant life. A song so full and free. A song so full and free. I am God's melody of life.
I am God's melody of life
That sings a song through me.
that sings a song through me.
A song of life, of radiant life, a
Song of life, of radiant life,
a song so joyous and free, a song so
joyous and free.
I am God's melody of life. I
am God's melody of life
that sings a song through me.
that sings a song through me.
That sings a song through me.
That sings a song
Through me.
Let's take that sentiment, that beautiful, transfiguring idea that God sings through me, that my life is dedicated to allowing the Spirit of creation, the Spirit of God, to express through me. Let's just take our breathing in a deep way, allowing the breath to flow fully, but in a relaxed manner. God breathed the breath of life into Adam. May we feel that breath of life, of spirit being breathed into us. We're breathing in God. We're opening ourselves to God's Spirit in these moments. Father, Mother, God, I open myself. I open my heart and my soul and my mind to your loving presence. May we just feel that sense of opening, that connection, that surrender to the Spirit of all creation entering into our lives. We'll take some moments without any voice, just feeling the presence.
In this world, every road I walk down, through life's mystery, strangers and friends I have found, reach out so tenderly, and you pour out a blessing, pour out a blessing on me. Pour out a blessing on me. In the wilderness when I was lost, stumbling blind, on the waves of storms I was tossed. You eased my worried mind, and you pour out a blessing, pour out a blessing on me. Pour out a blessing on me. Fill my broken heart with healing light. Teach me to pray. Guide my footsteps through the night. Show me the way. May the wanderer walking alone know a welcome face. May the wayward find their way home. Let that be sweet embrace, and to pour out a blessing, pour out a blessing on me. Pour out a blessing on me. And you pour out a blessing on me.
I love that song by the well-known Tim Noah, who Sally happened to grow up near, and her dad took Tim and his I think other members of his family, his brothers, on camping trips with her brothers. So yeah, so we've gotten to know Tim on different levels. The situation that happened with the power, it made me think of something I saw on the back of a minivan. This was not a bumper sticker sold commercially. These people had gone out and bought stick-on letters. And it said, "Relax, nothing is under control." And under that, then, they had a bumper sticker, and it said, "Come join the dark side. We have cookies." I love that. This morning, I want to ask you to try a thought experiment with me. This is going to be a little experiential. I'll caution you, this exercise may not be entirely comfortable, not physically, maybe in terms of it could bring up emotion. But please let us try. In this brief practice, you may choose to close your eyes if that helps. It's optional. I'll invite you to picture in your mind's eye your home and whatever precious objects you've collected in your lifetime on your journeys across our country, across our planet. You may, and I'm sure you do, have beautiful furniture, cherished clothing, art objects, books, instruments, jewelry, tools, electronics. The list goes on. We are an affluent people. There is so much to be grateful for. Now, and here's the challenging part. Just for this moment, allow yourself to picture all these possessions, the vast bulk of your material life, having suddenly vanished, poof, destroyed by fire or flood, windstorm, or other violent intrusion into our generally peaceful lives. Does such an imagining evoke fear, grief, anger, dismay? Possibly we may now have a sense of how more than 100,000 people in Southern California felt after fires devastated that region in January. How 10 million Ukrainians have been impacted throughout years of war on their soil. How nearly 2 million residents of the Gaza Strip have experienced war there. And how countless multitudes throughout history have come up against warfare, terror, atrocity, and near unbearable loss. When buffeted by such fates, when facing overwhelming bereavement, how may we cope? How would you handle a personally tragic turn of events? How would I? I'll give you a hint. Speaking just for myself, probably not too darn well. I have a lot of instruments that I would like to keep in my life as long as possible, just for one thing. And, I have a dog. Yes, I wasn't assuming that we would lose our partner, but yes, I do have a beloved wife. And I'm paying for lunch. We love our homes. They're our security. For many of us, much of our worth is tied up in a house. But they're an investment, not of financial resources alone, but of our history, family, memories, love. We feel toward our homes, I imagine, much like Mole felt in the wind in the willows. I read that every year. I can't stop myself. If you remember, when rambling with his new friend, the water rat, he suddenly detected his old home by sense of smell and could hardly stop himself from trying to find his way back to it. He said, "I know it's a shabby, dingy little place, but it was my own little home, and I was fond of it. I thought my heart was going to break." And that's the end of our talk. Thank you. Our hearts would surely break, as so many have, were we to lose our homes, the homes we love so, and everything else we've accumulated. Accumulate, by the way, I just had to look this up, literally means to heap up, like a cumulus cloud. Picture a dragon's hoard of gold and other wealth. Though many of us, I hear, now use shelves and cabinets and no longer store our possessions in heaps. But we've had one or two friends that was their style. Sally and I are now in what will be a months-long process of disassembling one home and setting up another. And right, I heard the groans in the room, right? We've been there 23 years, and has a lot of buildings, and when you're connected to family, they say, oh, you have space, we'll store this. I know how much our hearts are breaking and reopening with each decision, with each task. Hazrat Inayat Khan wrote, God breaks the heart again and again and again until it stays open. A poet, Reese Menifee, in a recent interview, says she can see God, love, and home as all the same thing, saying, to me, they're interwoven, and they're all dwellings in a sense. They're places the self resides. All three are tied to notions of belonging and permanence. With that comes a longing for safety and acceptance. Although this permanence thing, I'll talk about that later in this talk, is kind of an illusion, right? When you go to some bureaucrat or online and they say, put down your permanent address, the mind of God? It's not a street. Now, imagining how we might respond to the loss of our home, we may wonder if we could ever share the sentiment of the 17th century Japanese poet Mizuta Masahide, who wrote, my barn burned down. Now I can see the moon more clearly. My barn burned down. Now I can see the moon more clearly. How do we move from the normal, clinging, mainstream longing, perfectly normal human longing for safety, home, security, to that kind of consciousness? Now I can see the moon more clearly. Only through a spiritual process and through spiritual practice that may never end. It's expressed in this Rumi poem, The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Rumi, as rendered by Coleman Barks. For most of us, let's admit it, all that we own, all that happens to us, all that we're connected to, Our homes, loved ones, families, our very identities, we think of not as a guest house, but as my house. And they're what hold us steady in our lives, what we use to anchor us. In the face of loss, we're challenged to learn new skills, what we could call anchor management. Thank you. We may just have to do that at some point. As Red Green would say on his show in The Man's Pledge, I'm a man, but I can change. If I have to, I guess. Talk about weasel words. Sometimes true foundational change only comes about when our foundations are shaken or destroyed. What foundations may we build on that are truly unshakable? On a fall day in 1976, I met Leslie, a dance teacher at my college. I had stumbled into a dance class, trying something out, which you do when you're in college, and I'm glad I did. The first words I recall her saying were these. I think she was putting on her tights or something in front of the class. I mean, nothing inappropriate. She was wearing the leotard and just putting, okay. And she's up there, the class is kind of waiting, and she says, meditation is dying daily. Like, meditation is dying daily. I had no idea what that meant. Who was this person? What did these words mean? Leslie was my teacher and later my friend from that day until she left this earth in 2020. Through her, I began to learn about meditation and how a spiritual path means letting go, dying to our urges and desires. I'll tell one Leslie story that's not in the script. I could talk about her all day. She meant and means so much to me. She said she had several dance classes, as you do when you're a professor of dance, and she told each class, this coming Saturday I'm going to a workshop with Pir Vilayat Khan, and the Sufi, great Sufi teacher, and anyone who would like to is welcome to come with me. You could ride with me. We were outside of 30-some miles outside of Cleveland. It was in Cleveland. No one evidently responded except me. I put my hand way up in the air. I want to go. If I can hang out with you, Leslie, I'll hang out with you if we're degreasing your car. You know, I'll hang out with you for anything. And we went to a full day of meditation practices presented by Pir Vilayat. And on the way back to the college, she said, that was really good. I'm not sure why I went. I already have a teacher. Again, I had no idea what she was talking about. But some years later, I came to the Northwest. I had left my college, and I was out in Seattle. And I got introduced to some people who were studying with a certain guru, and I was intrigued but scared because I could take initiation with this guru. And I called Leslie. This is the, no cell phone, dial the thing, call somebody you haven't talked to in 2 years. She picks up pretty much on the first ring and says, Doug, I knew it was you. I hadn't talked to her for 2 years, at least. I explained to her what the decision point I was at around should I take meditation, initiation with this teacher. What's the name of the teacher? I told her. There's a pause. She said, that's my teacher. That's my teacher. I pretty much decided to take initiation right then. Now, from Leslie, I began to witness a way of serving and loving that was sacred and not selfish. I'm not saying I've integrated all that. If you know me for more than about 30 seconds, you know. The lessons continue. You are all my teachers. And the moments I mess up, not infrequently, are all in the lesson plan, evidently. But I began to think a little differently. And in the years that followed, we spent a lot of time on the phone, or Leslie had to put up with a lot of phone calls from me. And each time I spoke in a cynical way, and to quote the Gospel of Lily Tomlin, no matter how cynical you get, it's impossible to keep up. Leslie would inevitably counter with a hopeful spirit and an optimistic view of people as good. She seemed to embody Unity's second principle. Human beings are divine at their core and therefore inherently good. Now, certainly the great Albert Schweitzer, and if you haven't heard, this is the year when he would have turned 150, if humans live that long, and I'm going to talk about him every time I speak in any church this year. Schweitzer kept his idealistic spirit. It did not wither in old age. In 1952, in February, this very month, when Schweitzer was 77, he wrote that for centuries people just didn't believe that we could really have peace on earth. He said it was viewed as something purely religious that could not be applied to reality. But actually, he said, it is something that should and must be realized. This can happen, he went on, only with the emergence of a new spirit that animates us. This spirit cannot be proclaimed in the world or put an end to war if it does not first settle within us and begin its work. This spirit cannot put an end to war if it does not first settle within us and begin its work. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Did Jill Jackson, lyricist for the peace song, happen to read the 1952 article Schweitzer wrote for Svenska Morgenbladet, the Stockholm newspaper, as so many of us have? Perhaps. But I think rather that they were drawing from the same well, flowing with a spirit of peace in that post-war decade. And this is the spirit that transcends, that must surpass our inevitable individual attachments to all we take for granted, our lives as they are, our homes, our goods, our stuff. The force of compassion, selflessness, love, peace, God, is what may open our eyes to a higher vision, to a new world of love and service. I want to tell you a story about a disciple, if you will, of Schweitzer's who had and responded to that higher vision. This was William Larimer Mellon, his friends called him Larry, a member of the wealthy, some say robber baron, Mellon family of Pittsburgh. Larry Mellon had set up a cattle ranch in Arizona in the 1940s using money, because he had lots, when he stumbled on an article about Schweitzer. All at once, his life changed. He told his new wife, Gwen Grant Mellon, "I think I'll become a doctor and practice in the underdeveloped world." To which she is said to have replied, "You're right, we don't want to sit around here looking at the damn cows all our lives." Mellon, at that point, was 37, his wife Gwen, 36. He went to medical school at Tulane, earning his MD at 44. Now, if I've bothered you enough about Schweitzer, you might recall that he had 2 doctorates, one in philosophy, one in theology, but decided to devote himself to serving humanity in a way that didn't involve yakking at everybody. I haven't figured that one out yet. And he went back to medical school at age 30. And he said that was tough. My brain was not as sharp at 30 as it was at 20. Larry Mellon did him one better and went back to school at 37. And I've read letters between them because they dialogued about this. I have a book of their correspondence. During Mellon's training, his wife Gwen studied tropical medicine, bringing that to the toolkit of the family and hospital administration. And Mellon used some of the family fortune to set up a hospital in Haiti. Hôpital Albert Schweitzer, Haiti. I love that, which remains in operation to this day, supported by Mellon family funds. Larry Mellon's choice was to not hold on to all he'd been given, to refuse to stay rooted in a life that was secure, and to push into unexplored areas at an age when few would begin medical training. He, like Schweitzer, chose to train and to serve. He lived and worked at his Haitian hospital, or hôpital, until his death in 1989. Correspondence with Schweitzer was an ongoing source of inspiration for him. Gwen Grant Mellon outlived her spouse and directed operations at the hôpital until her death in the year 2000. By her wish, she was interred on the hospital grounds alongside her husband in the burial style of the poorest citizens of Haiti in a cardboard box. This makes me think of Schweitzer, by the way, when asked by a reporter why he always traveled third class on Europe's trains. He said, "Because they no longer offer fourth class." The Mellons' remarkable approach to anchor management was to use all they'd been given in order to serve. Schweitzer wrote to Mellon in February. Again, you see a theme here. I find correspondence every month that will give me something to stand on to talk about my beloved Albert Schweitzer. He wrote to Mellon in this month of 1948, saying he thought that in the world we truly could find a spirit capable of guiding humanity toward a new future. I think that those who work toward this new future, he wrote, will form a group that will have significant influence due to the power of truth in the cause they serve. We may take that as an invitation, if we choose, to continue to work toward this new future, holding lightly on to what we own, to what we call ours. Whatever we've been given is not really ours, not permanently. Neither our bodies nor our homes, not our land nor our most cherished objects. It's more like we leased them. Richard Rohr, the great Franciscan priest and writer, reminds us it is all a gift. When we live in the mindset of divine presence, we stop weighing and evaluating what we give against what we receive. Keeping a tally book all the time. This is hard to do, Father Richard teaches, unless we've consciously experienced infinite mercy. And therefore we realize it's all a gift, all the time. And what we've been given will be taken from us at some point. It's just a question of when. Swami Satchidananda expresses it this way. Realize that nothing is yours. You didn't come with anything, and you're not going to go with anything. Things were given to you along the way. At a certain period, things and people came to you. At a certain period, they will go again. So what is this mine business, he says? Many mines bring many explosions. A little guru humor there. The fact is, the moment we are born into this precious life, the seconds tick by until the ultimate letting go. That is when our lives truly are burnt to the ground and all that we thought was ours is ours no longer. The self that owned all those things leaves the stage. Suzuki Roshi, the founder of the Tassajara Zen Mountain Center, wrote this. Life is like stepping out onto a boat which is about to sail out to sea and sink. Let's all jump on the boat. This made no sense when I first heard it. Why is that spiritual, I said. 45 years later, it has some meaning to me. I've grown into it. Songwriter Bruce Cockburn, another beloved out there, holds that whatever happens, it's not the end. We'll meet again at the festival of friends, he says. That feels true to me. From the embers of all we've tried to hold on to and have lost in this school we call our lives, from the crucible of this world after our ashes have dissolved to atoms, we will rise again. When I said that, I looked back and Josh was just doing this, and I felt, yeah, that's it. The shape we may then wear is hidden from us now. We see through a glass darkly. But when at last we lie down for our final rest, we will somehow still be a part of the exchanging flow, a part of God, for that is who we are. This I believe. We have been that all along through fear and clinging and whatever we embraced that separated us from our divine birthright. We are all in God's hands, all God's children. All God's critters got a place in the choir. And strangers and friends we have found may reach out so tenderly, just as we offer love's blessing to those we encounter. So let us remember that daily. Let us together, moment by moment, in joy and in sorrow, reach out in love, creating a world anew. Thank you. Oh. That's what you want now?
There is a chorus you can repeat on this next song of Doug's. Let your heart stay open, open to love.
That's pretty much it. Let your heart stay open, even in the pain, even in the rain. You know the sun will shine. Let your heart stay open, even on the days, even when the ways of the world have us crying. Let your heart stay open.
Open to love.
Open to love. Open to love. Let your heart stay open. Open to love. Open to love. Let your heart stay open, even with the hate, even with the state of this world all around. Let your heart stay open, even when it breaks, even when it shakes with a crying sound. Let your heart stay open, open to love, open to love. Let your heart stay open, open to love, open to love. Let your heart stay open, even through the night, even when the light seems like it's dead and gone. Let your heart stay open, even when you doubt, even when your shout longs to say you're done. Let your heart stay open, open to love, open to love. Let your heart stay open, open to love, open to love. Let your heart stay open, open to love, open to love. Let your heart stay open, open to love, open to love. Thank you. I just want to say, as much as I enjoy everything we get to do, it's so beautiful to have written a song some time back and played it enough that certain people just started singing that song right away, and it's really lovely. Thank you.
You're kind of like a rock star, Doug. We all know your song. We all know it. Yeah. Lighters. Put our lighters up. Thank you for the reminder, Doug, about, I love that idea that nothing is in control. Nothing is in control. Hold on to it with an open hand. We needed that. And I'm looking forward to Albert Schweitzer year. I am. Well, now it's time to bless our offering and thank our Creator for the many blessings that we have been given and affirm our gratitude. So this is how it goes. My name is, and you use your name, and I am prosperous always and in all ways. So let's say that together. My name is, and I am prosperous always and in all ways. You did not sound very convincing this morning.
Do it again.
I think we have to try it again,
Yes.
Really. All right, with conviction. My name is, and I am prosperous, always and in all ways. Amen. So let's take our offering now. We can hold it next to our heart, literally or figuratively. Think about Doug's lesson. Think about the blessing that he gave us to remind us what a privilege it is to be here, to be given the gifts that we have, to have gifts that we can share, and to share them freely and willingly and lovingly from our heart. And let's bless our offering together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I share, and all that I receive. Thank you, Mother God. Amen.
Oh, tell me, what is it you plan to do?
What is it you plan to do? What is it you plan to do with your wild life?
What is it you
Plan to do? What is it you plan to do?
Tell me,
What is it you plan to do with your wild precious life?
You plan to swim in the ocean, go to the fair, always be in motion, grow your hair, hike every forest trail you find,
With your wild life.
grow a garden, write a song, beg the pardon of someone you wrong, care for somebody frail and blind with your one
Precious life.
Oh, tell me, what is it you
Plan to do? What is it you plan to do?
Tell me, what
Is it you plan to do with your wild life?
What is it
You plan to do? Oh, what is it you plan to do?
Oh, what is it you plan to do
With your wild precious life.
You could wash all the dishes, walk the
Sounds
dog.
good to me.
Oh, I got confused. You could wash all the dishes, walk the dog, cross a raging river on a narrow log, ride to a friend's on your mountain bike with your own wild life. Order a pizza, bake a cake, dive in a river, jump in a lake, kiss your darling just where you like.
With your wild precious life.
Oh, tell me, what is it you
Plan to do? What is it you plan to do? What is it you plan to do with your wild life? What is it you plan to do? Oh, what is it you plan to do?
Tell me,
What is it you plan to do with your wild precious life?
tell me, what is it you plan to do? Oh, what is it you plan to do? What is it you plan to do with your wild life? What is it you plan to do? Oh, what is it you plan to do? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your wild, precious life? You could build a cottage without a plan. Love somebody just because you can.
Yeah.
Take a chance or take a nap with your one wild life. Run a marathon, walk to school. Do your thing whether or not it's cool. Take a journey, don't take a map with your one precious life. Oh, tell me, what is it you plan to do? Oh, what is it you plan to do? Oh, what is it you plan to do with your one wild life? What is it you plan to do? Oh, what is it you plan to do? What is it you plan to do with your one precious life? With your one life, with your one precious life. Thank you. And now, what we plan to do is bless this offering. Divine Presence, we are ever so grateful for our time together, for all the gifts of fellowship, of voices raised in song, of laughter, of connection, and for all that is given that sustains this community spiritually, materially, and in every other way, including electrically. We are grateful. Amen.
Amen. I was talking with someone last week, and she was saying, the thing is, when we come to Earth, we are supposed to have fun. This is supposed to be vacation. It's supposed to be fun and exciting. We are given 5 senses to be able to experience everything wonderful in this world, and we just forget that when we get here. And I really appreciate that song, One Precious Life. What are you going to do with this one precious life? Amen. All right, well, thank you for coming this morning. Hope you can come downstairs and enjoy some refreshments with us. We're going to welcome the kids in. We'll circle around the room. We'll say our prayer of protection and sing our peace song. And you really do need to go down these 2 aisles here. You're not going to be able to stretch around. Some of the people are coming.